Even me, after 23 years of flying standby, I still get nervous like I'm holding somebody up in the airport security line. But you're not going to get arrested if you left your bottle of shampoo in your tote bag. Just don't let someone mess up your vacay mode.
Life Reimagined with Stacey Ray.
Before we hear some great travel tips from Laurie, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow us so you never miss an episode of Life Reimagined.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you too. Aloha. I'm looking at your
Thank
shirt.
you.
And I'm in the chill Aruba shirt. Yes. You have quite an amazing Instagram account and following, and you do all your own content, right?
Yes.
I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you.
I can do like, I'm on a trip, or I can talk into my phone, but I am dying to know how you decided to even do travel tips by Laurie, because that is a fabulous idea, and I actually follow you. So how did that come about?
Well, we moved to Texas like 10 years ago, and my mother-in-law said, Laurie, you've got to plan a trip for us to go to Waco, where Chip and Joanna are. And I was like, who are Chip and Joanna?
Oh, the house people?
The HGTV stars, yes. Well, I started watching it and fell in love with them. And my son was like 10. So I had energy at night to stay up after he went to bed. And I watched YouTube videos back then, and I still do. And so I started watching the show, loved it, but I couldn't find any information on things to do in Waco for our little trip. And I'm like, somebody needs to
Oh.
make a video. So I made a bunch of pictures. And then after 11 tries using some little theater thing on my computer, I had my first video.
And how'd that go? I mean, did you get a response, or?
I had like 1,000 views. I couldn't believe it. And then we had family coming into town, and I was like, oh, I'll make a coaster for their bedside table out of a toilet paper tube and do this for their room. I have another video. I'll make this video. And then so I wanted to be creative, and I made my channel Laurie Pop Ideas That Pop. Who searches for that on YouTube?
Ha,
It was
yeah,
just
right.
random ideas because I was creative. And then after like 2 years, I niched down to travel, and they just took off. The views did.
Were you in the travel industry before all of this?
No, just a stay-at-home mom. I was a teacher, elementary school teacher, had my master's degree in education, and then just was solving a problem at the beginning. And then I knew pretty soon it was a business and could make me an income from it.
And so are you still teaching?
Oh no. But
No.
if you think about me teaching how to pack and how to go through security, I'm using a teaching degree. So it's what I'm talented in, and I love it.
Did I understand your husband's a pilot?
Yes. We've had to pack and carry on suitcases because we only flew standby most of the time. So I've had lots of practice in having to fit 10 days in a carry on suitcase only, for example.
Do you have a favorite place that you have visited that you could live in?
Yes. Yes. Repeat Spain, outside of Barcelona.
Spain.
Yes.
I love
I could
Barcelona.
I could live there like 3 months. I like America and our conveniences.
I'm always surprised when I read or hear people talk about, isn't there a McDonald's here? Or, they're looking for Americanized restaurants or westernized restaurants. I'm like, wow, you're missing the whole point of being here. You absolutely learn about the culture, not just from eating the food, but from meeting the servers. Where does the food come from? And that's the other thing, is that people don't realize that in so many of the European countries, or around the world, really, different regions have different traditions. They have different etiquette when you're in the restaurants, or, the street food is where you want to go. So What was your biggest surprise about eating at a cafe? I want to see if it's the same as ours. When you're overseas, what's the biggest surprise for you?
Well, my favorite, which I could never do now, even here, any time of my life here in America, my favorite is sitting in a sidewalk cafe at like 10 o'clock at night with cigarette smoke blowing in my face, right beside exhaust from cars going down the little
Yeah.
streets in Paris. I love it. Mm.
Well, Mike and I used to sit in cafes for hours. Our biggest surprise was that servers in all these other countries make living wages. And so the motivation of the restaurants or the cafes or the coffee shops is not turnover like it is in the United States. And so you can sit there for literally 8 hours and no one's going to say, hey, I need this table or, can you please go?
Do you tip?
Well, we've learned I do tip according to their customs.
Mhm.
I've learned not to be the big obnoxious American and go, oh, here's $20 or here's $50 because you'll let me sit here all day. That is not appreciated in their culture. It is, round up to the euro if you feel like you want to. Tipping's not expected in most places, although more and more that's changing a little bit. And I think a lot of that has been post COVID. And after the pandemic, with so many people around the world losing their livelihoods, there's some makeup time that's kind of necessary. So,
Right.
what's your travel tip for people when you're talking on your show about tipping, say in the EU?
I just say to find out what they do in that particular country. Just
Mm-hmm.
because on YouTube, people can watch a video from 3 years ago. Well, it
Yeah,
may have changed,
that's right.
especially since 2020.
Exactly.
I do try to convey to not be an obnoxious American. Sometimes we assume they will speak English
Yes.
to us, and we're like, what? It's just our tone, our delivery.
Yeah.
Like we are a guest in their country. I was at the bottom of Sacre Court, the steep steps in Paris,
Yeah.
and our son was a teenager. He was wanting to do all this crypt stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like trying to hurry for her convenience,
Right.
standing in line for tickets. I was trying to find out where to go to get a ticket just to the crypt. It was my turn in line. I said, could you just tell me where to get a ticket for the, and she goes, bonjour,
Yeah.
bonjour. And I
Yeah.
could say, oh, she was so rude to me, but I was the one who was being rude to her.
Correct. Because in France, they expect
Yes,
bonjour before you say another
exactly.
word. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I knew that. And
Yeah.
so I was like, even I still make mistakes. Like it's okay to make mistakes, but just do your best and be so polite.
Yeah. With your audience, do you ever find that they are shockingly unprepared from a cultural and etiquette perspective to travel to the countries they're going to?
The people in my audience are 35 to on up everywhere. That's more than half of my audience. And they are travelers. I feel like I'm giving beginner tips, but they keep coming back to listen to my videos.
Right.
But I feel like they want to be respectful. What do we need to do to get there to not be rude?
Right.
I feel like they're very flexible and
Right.
loving and appreciative of them letting us in their country, to do this trip and serving us the food. They're more worried about airport security.
Hmm.
They're so worried that they're going to do something wrong,
Yeah.
and they're really trying to save their money and not have to pay to check luggage.
The women that travel with us, we've kind of got two sorts of travelers. We have one group that is, they are definitely first time travelers. They're so brave and courageous. Many of them have never flown or flown alone. They don't know how to navigate an airport.
Yes.
But somewhere deep inside, they're saying, I want to do this. And then they're going, okay, I'm going to fly to Paris. from San Francisco. So it's very much a work in progress. And then we have the other group of travelers who are more experienced and prefer more off the beaten track type of destinations and things like that. But navigating an airport, listen, I've been traveling my entire adult life. It doesn't mean that I have mastered Amsterdam yet. As
Right.
many times as I have been in that airport, I'm still bewildered half the time. I mean,
I feel the same way.
you know, it just depends. So, what's your advice for people who are not used to flying, not used to navigating these larger airports? What do you tell them?
I tell them to be less stressed because you stressed less by arriving at the airport more than 2 hours before. If it's international, 3 hours before the airplane boards. So that's like now 45 to 50 minutes before your takeoff time. So at 3 o'clock, you should be at
Right,
your gate and in the airport 2 or 3 hours before, like
right,
2:15. And I tell them that we have done our best before we get to the airport by following the travel tips, having our liquids bag ready, laces loosened or boot unzipped.
right,
We've done our part. So if I am feeling rushed, it's okay. Even me, after 23 years of flying standby, I still get nervous like I'm holding somebody up in the airport security line.
right.
But this is my vacation. So I just tell people,
Yeah, right,
you've done your best. You've done what it takes. You're going to make a mistake. Just don't let someone, a rude TSA officer, which they're in every company, a rude person mess up your vacay mode because this is your vacation, maybe your bucket list vacation, and just make the mistake and keep going. You're not going to get arrested if you left your bottle of shampoo in your tote bag,
they're just gonna take it and toss it. It's, they're not looking to arrest you. You're right. Perhaps my biggest challenge when I'm talking to the women that travel with us and even with others, layover time. I cannot stress enough how ample your time must be on a layover, especially in international airports. I've had women tell other women in our Facebook group that, oh, make sure you have an hour and a half at Heathrow. Okay, at Heathrow, it could take you an hour and a half just to get off the plane. Let's not even go into going through immigration and customs, taking a bus to another terminal and waiting online for that bus. People don't realize. And they'll say, well, I don't want to spend all my time in that airport. You know what? None of us do. But at least in today's world, the airports are a little bit like amusement parks. There's something to do for everyone, right? There's shopping, there's eating, there's relaxing, whatever it is you want to do. And a lot of them you can even get like pedicures, I think. But
I got my nails done in Dallas.
did you? Did they do a great
It
job?
was quick. Yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I might do that in Miami next week because I'm not sure I have time to do it before I go. But the way that people think they don't need these long layovers, there's this cartoon that I sent to my daughter, and it's got a meme, not a cartoon. See, age.
The new lingo
Yeah, the meme.
meme.
Um, so it's this couple running through the airport with their suitcases on a baggage thing, and it said, flight leaves at 3:30, my parents at 6 a.m. And that's me, for sure.
If you're on time, you're late.
Exactly, exactly. My husband was retired military, so,
Oh, wow.
you know,
Awesome.
that was his mantra for sure. I would way rather be early and wait around and know I will be there.
I really don't think it should be allowed if you are buying a ticket for them to offer you, like American, you have 50-minute layover in Vermont to make your flight to Maine. Well, why can I choose that flight? Of course, I want to get there as soon as I want to,
Right.
but they should not even offer that because it takes 30 minutes to get off of those long 737 planes
That's
now.
right.
Oh, and then they're boarding 45 minutes before. You've missed it.
You've missed it. But I have a mantra that I tell people get sick of hearing it, I'm sure. I say it ad nauseum. What's the difference between an adventure and an ordeal? Attitude.
That's good.
And listen, I realize it doesn't apply to certain things in life, but it certainly applies to travel because anything that can go wrong could go wrong. And
Yes.
so be grateful if your plane's on time, you're boarding on time, etc., etc. But you need to shake off the panic and shake off the anxiety in any way possible.
You're already at a heightened sense of urgency and of worry.
Yes.
So just by telling yourself, okay, let's just calm down,
Yeah. Yeah.
it helps you be the one that's less stressed.
Right. You've done so many videos and given so many tips and advice and guidance to so many people over the years. Now that Real ID is actually really happening, are you getting a lot of questions and interest in that topic now that people realize they may not be able to get on a plane?
I'm waiting for that. It really hasn't happened for me, for my audience.
I don't have the Real ID license because I have a passport. So to me, I always travel with my passport.
And that would be the solution. Like you can always use your passport to go to Kansas from Texas, if you
Exactly.
don't have it. And some people
Exactly.
refuse to get it.
I don't understand that.
Our 20-year-old thinks, oh, I have to look at a website. Nah, I'll just do as is. And like, it doesn't take that much time. It may seem overwhelming, but just take it one chunk at a time. It's something new that I just realized. I just made a video about it. Passport tips for 2025 is that if you are in another country and your passport is stolen, the bullies online, the keyboard bullies, they're like, oh, I would never carry my passport walking around town. Well, sometimes you have to if you're moving a hotel, but you just go to usembassy.gov and that tells you, like before your trip, go to usembassy.gov and that would tell you, okay, I'm going to France. Where's the US embassy in that country? All
Right.
right, I'm going to have that address on my phone or whatever
Exactly.
if it happens.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. And do you tell people to enroll in the STEP program?
I have,
Yeah.
yes. Just peace of mind.
I think it's critical that the embassy knows where you are so that if there were a case of any kind of catastrophic event, they would be able to at least help you and get you out of wherever you are if there was some need. So,
And you know what? The reason why I did it is like if there's an earthquake, which are so random, they would be able to find me. Not just really warn me, but find me or know that, oh, there is an American in that train.
there is an American in that rubble. Yes, for
Exactly.
sure. Do you get a lot of pushback from the people that follow you about why they would need a passport or why they should get one?
No, I've never had a question about that.
Interesting. What are the most
Yeah.
common questions you do get? I'm curious.
The most common questions are, do antibacterial wipes count as a liquid? They do not. And you can
Awesome.
even take a big tub, but
Yeah,
there's liquid in the bottom of the tub.
right.
But the wipes, they're not.
Okay.
Do I need to pack in a converter if I'm going to Europe, to Greece, things like that? Do I have to bring all of my bottles of medicine? That is a huge worry.
Right.
I made a whole how to take medicine through TSA because that's the problem. It could be thrown out. The good thing is they're not looking for illegal pills
Right.
that don't have a prescription.
Right.
They are looking for liquids that could harm people, or tools that could harm people.
Although there are certain countries that don't allow certain types of drugs. So, like Dubai,
Exactly.
for instance,
Hmm.
if you want to bring in a narcotic, you have to fill out a form long before you go and actually get authorization to bring that medication with you.
Yes, it can be so. frustrating and worrisome for my audience.
Especially for people who rely on it for either pain issues or anxiety or whatever the case may be.
One good relief is that you can go to tsa.gov
Hmm.
and they have the phone number. You can actually call them or go to up in the right corner is what can I bring on the TSA website. Or you can Facebook message them, not Facebook, but Facebook message, ask TSA, not TSA. Ask TSA and ask them a question. And you've got to get through the robots. You've got to say, no, I need help. I need more help. I need more help. And then you'll get a person. But I called them and they actually do answer during work week hours. And that's really helpful with giving you peace of mind and going, oh, yeah, it's fine. And you can mix pills as long as it's like in America, you can mix pills. One thing that I tell people is to ask not your pharmacist, but to ask your doctor to
Yes.
prescribe like a plasty, the little Sudafed foil looking things of your
Ah,
of your
yeah.
medicine that has like a prescription on it. And that way it's flat.
Right.
Not everybody says they can do it, but a lot of doctors will do that or a smaller amount and then have the little prescription that's that size. And then you don't have to take it for the controlled substances. Like
Sure.
I know like Sudafed's not allowed in Mexico and Japan.
Right.
Well, that would be great to know. When are you going to tell me? I've gone to Mexico many times and they've never told me that.
I do find that one of our most common questions definitely is about the medications, all the same questions you're getting. We also get a ton of questions about adapters slash converters because a lot of people don't know the difference and they don't know why you would need one without the other. That's pretty common that you're getting that as well, right?
Yes. And I just say, like, if you're bringing a curling iron or hair dryer from America, it's got to go into a converter
Yes.
and then it's got to go into an adapter.
And it has to be the right converter because if you're just using a converter that doesn't accommodate that hair dryer that you want to
Right.
use or that
Yes.
flat iron or whatever it is, you can literally shut the power down in the whole hotel. I
Yeah.
wouldn't like you very much if you did that.
I just bought a dual voltage curling iron last year. And now I don't have to bring a converter. I just plug it into an
Plug it in.
adapter and I'm just so happy.
Which is the
It's
way
great.
to go, in my opinion. We'll dive deeper into that right after this quick break.
Life is meant for exploring, and Sisterhood Travels is your invitation to rediscover you. Specializing in group travel for women 45 and over, we offer exciting trips to stunning destinations around the globe. Imagine tasting exotic foods, marveling at breathtaking landscapes, and connecting with incredible women who share your zest for life. Step into adventure, friendship, and joy at sisterhoodtravels.com. This is your time, your journey.
Picking right up where we left off. So I saw something I think that you did. You had this epiphany that apparently you were like this old before you realized that you could save room with liquids with, yeah, tell us
Can
about
you
that.
believe it? I
Yeah.
mean, after 10 years, I've been doing YouTube videos for probably 5 years. And I realized that if you pack your containers of liquid, which lip gloss is a liquid, you pack it horizontally. You can fit more containers in your liquids bag rather than the cute storefront location that they
I
show.
literally would, I don't have that kind of common sense, number one, but I really never would have thought of that. Now, what is your favorite travel tip? That if you could only choose one, what would be your favorite travel tip that you tell people?
Oh, man. I don't know. They're all so good. But the little beauty blender, the pink little sponge that some women you dampen and then you put your foundation on, and supposedly it makes it not look caked on. Well, you can pack that in a little plastic Easter egg for travel. Another one was, of course, from a flight attendant, and that is to use the pants hanger in your closet of your hotel. to clip the curtains together. So, those first few mornings, the sun does not have a jagged, bright light on your eyes when you're trying to sleep in the hotel room. So it keeps the curtains together.
I have never, ever thought of that or
I
heard of
know.
that.
Flight attendants are the smartest out
Oh, aren't
there.
they though? They have like
Yes.
great tips. What are three must-have travel products that you think every traveler should have when they go away?
I think a phone prop because you're going to be using, but most people use a Kindle or an iPad that has the little prop. But I
Right.
watch like the airplane movies on my phone, so I have to have a phone prop. Oh, power banks, to charge my phone because the photos and videos that I take for my business, it drains my battery.
Yeah.
Now there's a big to do about a bunch of Asian airlines have said no more power banks ever, but it's actually you cannot just
Even
use
on
it
your
to
carry-on,
you can pack it in your carry-on. I mean, you can't go in the
but you
checked
can't
luggage.
use it on
You
the
can't
plane.
use it to charge your phone in the airplane on just a few Asian airlines.
Interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Power banks are combustible. That's why they're not allowed in the belly of the plane. But we're not panicking because it doesn't mean we can't ever take them. But,
Right.
and then whatever's most important to you for that trip, because I pack different things for each trip,
Yeah. Now, I know a lot of my followers in our, for Sisterhood Travels have certainly heard this, but I have one that I do
What?
not leave home without.
What?
It is my venti fan. Have you ever seen it?
No.
So, it's round. It looks like a hat box. It is completely portable. You charge it with a USB port. I'm telling you, it has saved my life. I'll tell you what it's actually great for. If you're sharing a room with people, whether it's your spouse or someone you don't know or a friend, one likes it hot, one likes it cold. There you go. It's also great if the air shuts down in your hotel, which a lot of people don't realize that in a lot of countries around the world, they conserve energy and they will deliberately shut off the air in the middle of the night. And then you're like, why did I wake up so sweaty and what have you? That venti fan has saved my life.
I have to have airflow. Americans like airflow. And even in Hawaii, like we went to Maui.
Yeah,
Well, the area of the island where we were, a lot of the places did not have air conditioning. And I panicked when I realized that. I'm like, oh my word. But ours did, thank God.
right. So, where is, aside from Spain, where you would love to live for a while, where's the favorite place that you've ever been?
I love the Grand Canyon, Montana, Idaho. We just saw that during 2020 when no one was flying. We were
Traveling?
on the planes.
Yeah,
Yes, I love that area. No humidity. When on sunny days, you're like, oh, yeah, I could live here forever.
yeah. Do you like traveling with your family or do you like traveling just you and your husband or by yourself? What's your favorite style of travel?
I don't love traveling by myself. I have plenty of times. And you know what it is? It's sleeping in the hotel room at night. I hear every noise because there's no airflow in that hotel or something. I hear every noise. So I'm like, is that somebody opening the door? But I love traveling with girlfriends.
Yes.
It's the
It's
best.
the best, right?
Yes, girlfriends trump family as far as vacation time go.
I used to laugh with my husband all the time because he'd say, well, do you want to take our granddaughters on a trip? I was like, no, because then I will need a vacation and let them have all that fun with their parents. Well, you're gonna have to join one of our girlfriends' trip.
I
With
know.
all of our trips are for women only. You're just gonna have to come
I
with us and
know.
find out how amazing that is. But
Yes.
and it's magical seeing everybody make all these brand new friends and
And they're lifelong. Travel just does that. If you can sleep with somebody,
I know.
no. But
It's
no, if you've been through the ups and downs of travel,
yeah.
the frustration, the panic, the joy, the
Yeah.
fun times, you're
Yeah.
lifelong friends. Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
And you know, I have to say it's really magical for me to watch how much these women build confidence and life skills and these friendships that last long beyond the trip. Sometimes before they even come back, they're already planning their next trips together with us, or they're going to visit each other at their homes, or, whatever the case may be. And it is amazing.
I'm trying to get my mom to go on one because she wants to travel and she doesn't have anybody to travel with anymore. So I want
Oh,
her to do it.
definitely, definitely. And you let me know if she wants to.
Okay.
We'll get her hooked up because we want our women to know that your life can be anything you reimagine it to be. And it is
Yes.
never too late. One of the reasons that I really was looking forward to talking to you is because you have like these dumb moments for me, like with the liquids and the
I know.
horizontal. I've got them all standing up, and then I'm like, damn it, where am I going to fit this?
Yep.
But then I realized, like, wait a minute, there is so much more to learn. You get the final vote, okay? It is the age-old question: flat or rolled?
I flat. It's faster for me.
I'm flat too. I do not roll clothes. Have never seen where it stopped things from getting wrinkled. I don't think I have enough room.
And I don't know if it's because I don't take like super fancy clothes. So this is gonna be not wrinkled at all when I pull it out of the suitcase. I don't have time to make sure this end fits like a burrito and this too. I'm gonna be less stressed because I stress less.
And I'm all about mix and match. Listen, my
Yeah.
husband and I learned a very valuable lesson. I'm going to make you laugh. So we took this trip. I know it was through Italy, and from Italy, we were going to take the train to Hungary. And from Hungary, we were going to, between there, we were going through Vienna. It was like a 3-week trip that we had done. But that was in the time where I thought I needed to bring everything I owned because I don't know what I might want to wear. So here we are with these 2 huge suitcases each.
Oh,
Every pair of shoes, every possible scenario. Well, what I didn't realize then was to take the train, you have to go down all the stairs from
yes.
the place that you're at, and they're steep. There are no elevators. You have to walk either across or down or quite a length, and then you have to walk back up all the stairs to get to your train track. I don't believe in the almost 3 decades I was with my husband that I ever got dagger looks as badly as those. It was awful. Now, my bag's about this big. Even when I do that, I still sometimes have too many clothes.
I learn best by experience. You can tell me not to
Yes.
cross the line,
Yep.
and I'll cross the line every time until it's a pain in the butt. And then because
Yeah.
it's inconvenient, I learn and I'll never make that mistake again.
Exactly. What do you think about, the argument always, should I recline or not recline?
Oh, definitely. It's my right. I paid for that right to recline.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't throw it back that fast.
Oh,
I'll go back,
no.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm respectful. I'll look if I'm on the aisle, I'll look back, to kind of tell them I'm coming.
What is your go-to snack that you take on a plane?
I love chips, like Cheez-Its.
Oh,
Road trip is Nutter Butters, which are hard to find in the real
yeah.
shape anymore. But airplane is a bag of Cheez-Its. And now in the airports, they're like that huge. Well, I can finish the whole the whole bag in a 2-hour flight.
Oh, wow. I just read something about the 3 things that flight attendants tell you never to consume on a plane. And one of them was tap water. And it was saying, like, if they're doing the beverage service and you see they're pouring out of a pitcher
A
and not
pitcher?
bottled water, say no thank you. Don't even drink the
Mm.
coffee or the tea.
I get that asked a lot. We've always drunk the tea and the coffee and water, but it's always been out of a bottle,
Right.
you know. The only thing I can think of is like I've done some long flight videos, like refreshing, brushing your teeth. Well, you have to put water and swish around your mouth. You don't want to do that with the sink water that's in the bathroom in the airplane. That's the only thing I could think of that they're talking about.
Now, I have a lot of friends who, before they'll sit, they are sanitizing their seat.
Oh,
If
yeah.
there's.
And I used to never, before 2020, I never wiped down my tray table.
Me
Now
neither.
I'll wipe down my tray table and my seatbelt because what's easy to kill, a wipe can kill that part at least.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
petrified. It's
Right.
like I'm just going to clean it.
Yeah. So, for any families that are traveling this summer, because, now we're soon coming into the big travel season, any words of advice how they can reduce their stress levels traveling with small children?
Well, with small children, let them eat the entire time, but I would not do it until you back away from the gate. Like make them wait because if they're crying, then people can get over that later.
Right.
But then after you back away from the gate, there's so many delays that could happen. And then let them watch a screen the whole entire time. In 10 years, they're not going to be ruined from eating too much or
Or,
watching too much.
oh, that is
Just
great
keeps them quiet.
advice.
I
Yeah.
forgot to have headphones on my son's at 3 years old, his annoying little leapfrog. I totally forgot to make him put in headphones. And a woman across the aisle, it was a 6 a.m. flight, completely dark. She taps me. She said, "Could you get us the headphones?" I did not even, it was so loud. I was using my AirPods. Anyway, yes, and use headphones, but
Yeah.
always get there early, super early. And if you don't have kids, know in the summer is when the not ever travelers are going to be in line in security and in the food places and to get on board. So just pack your patient's hat and know that it's going to take
Yeah.
almost double the time to get through airport security if you don't have clear or pre-check or whatever.
Yeah. I consider myself lucky. I've got all the above. I've got Clear Plus, TSA, Global Entry, all of it.
Yes. Global entry is the best.
Oh my God. I couldn't live without it.
I now could not. It's worth every penny I have not paid off.
Absolutely. Uh, absolutely, because I'm going to tell you, although I always laugh, it takes me literally like less than 5 minutes to go from there to the baggage claim. And then
Oh,
I'm waiting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or longer for my baggage. And I'm like, what was
right.
the point of this? Now everybody else is coming out. But at least I don't have to stand in the immigration line. So that's totally worth it.
And I
Yeah.
thought that was overwhelming. And it's not when you try to do it online. It's easy
Oh,
to do.
no. I have had it 10 years. I just renewed it for the 3rd time. And I will tell you, the interview was the most tedious part because you couldn't do it here in Raleigh. So a friend of
Oh,
mine and I drove 6 hours each way to Dulles Airport for a 10-minute interview.
yes. Yeah. And it says on your little email, you can interview when you're coming back from another country. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to risk that. I will spend hours there and then do it wrong. No, it's totally easy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I have so enjoyed having you come on the show, and
I love getting to know you. Thanks so much.
if you liked this show, please be sure to like us, follow us, subscribe to us, give us a review, because it really helps grow our podcast.